Hey guys, it's Jennifer from Live, Laugh, Love to Read. So today I'm out here on the pier where I've been coming practically every day to read my book. And today I finished it. So we're going to talk about The Four Winds by Kristin Hannah. I think 3.8 stars. Yeah, it wasn't the best book by Kristin Hannah that I've ever read, but it was okay. So 3.8 stars means I enjoyed it, I finished it, yeah. But I really thought it was a little too repetitive, but I still enjoyed it. So let's talk about it. So I'm going to read the synopsis. So it says, if I can, it's really windy, guys, and I'm trying to hold the jacket on there. Okay. Says, my land tells its story if you listen. The story of our family. Texas, 1921, a time of abundance. The Great War is over, the bounty of the land is plentiful, and America is on the brink of a new and optimistic era. But for Elsa Walcott, deemed too old to marry in a time when marriage was a woman's only option, the future seems bleak. Until the night she meets Rafe Martinelli and decides to change the direction of her life. With her reputation in ruins, there's only one respectable choice: marriage to a man she barely knows. So, of course, Elsa meets Rafe, and they start having relations. Right away. I think he realizes that, they meet and they go off into the woods, and then they get in the back of his truck, and he's like kissing her, and he's like, can I do more? And she's like, sure. And they just met. So, but Elsa is very lonely. She's 25, very lonely, still lives at home with her parents, and they're very unloving towards her. She's real tall, gangly, and everybody else, they are quite wealthy. But everyone else in their family is pretty and short and petite and, all this, and she's not any of those things. And they never show her love. So she's come across Rafe, who she's just met, and she's like, and she's a big reader, so she's read all the romance novels and all this, and so she lets him. And they continue, and then she gets pregnant. And then they're forced to get married. Yeah. By 1934, the world has changed. Millions are out of work, and drought has devastated the Great Plains. Farmers are fighting to keep their land and their livelihoods as crops fail and water dries up and the earth cracks open. Dust storms roll relentlessly across the plains. Everything on the Martinelli farm is dying, including Elsa's marriage. Each day is a desperate battle against nature and a fight to keep her children alive. So, 1934, so this is, they meet in 1921, they get married. 1934, the Great Depression and the Dust Bowls start happening, and they are in Texas, or Oklahoma, Texas border. But he ends up leaving, Rafe does. He's decided he can't take no more, and he leaves, his family and everything. Now, the family lives on the family farm. The grandpa and grandma, and then Elsa and Rafe, and then they have 2 children. So Rafe leaves. Yeah. Well, it's so bad that they can't, all their crops are dying. The youngest son gets what they call dust pneumonia. He almost dies. So Elsa decides to take the kids to California. And she does, but then when they get to California, it's really bad. They're very poor. No one wants to give them jobs because they call them Okies. Even doesn't matter where you're from, but if you came to California to get away from the Dust Bowl and all that, they call everybody Okies, which I kind of found interesting since I'm an Okie. But she would say, they call her an Okie, and she's like, I'm from Texas, and they're like, doesn't matter, you're an Okie. And I'm like, what? Yeah. So anyway. anyway, the only issue I had with this book was I thought it was too detailed, because I mean, how many chapters can I read about the dust? So the first chapter, I was like, okay, that was pretty interesting, because like at one point the author tells you about them getting wetting sheets, draping it over their table, getting wet sponges, putting those in their mouth, covering their faces with bandanas, getting under the table during a dust storm, which I found very interesting and all that. And then she talks about, you know, how dirt rains from the inside of the house and all this, which all very interesting. But there was like, I don't even know how many chapters of it. It was a lot. And then when they get to California and they live in tents and in their truck and all this, and they're all really poor and they have to live off the government and all this, and all that was just like crazy. But I thought it was way too long. I just thought it was too long. I mean, it's a very important history, and I know it happened and all that, but this was fiction, but it was based on history. So 3.8 stars. Like I said, I think it could have been a lot shorter, and I think the only reason I finished it was because it was Kristin, who I absolutely love. I like her writing style, and it kept me interested enough to finish it. So 3.8 stars. Yep, that's it, guys. That's all I got. Don't forget to subscribe, and don't forget to check back for more book videos coming up soon. Thanks, friends. I'll see you next time.